Today, we had the 5C Envoy tournament, and I will be the lone victor this time. There's no way any of these competitors are going to beat me. I'm going to smack them down. I'm going to lay them out, starting with you, Bendable Straws. I'm going to fold you up, throw you away in the trash, just like all the other paper straws in California. You will no longer be bendy. You will be the flatliner of this whole tournament. Updog, I love you, man. However, I was so upset that you ended up beating me the last time we faced off. So I'm going to just take you out. I'm going to take you in the back, and I'm going to old yellow you, so that way you are never, ever going to do that to me again in Duelim. Please, I beg you. I just beg you. Throw this tournament. The last time we had the Summer of Duelim, I was begging by the end of it, just give me the Summer of Sam instead. It was that bad. And T-Dub, you're new to this whole thing, but you are like Bullseye to me. You are old. You are out of date. You are out of the meta. There's no chance in hell you will end up beating me. And Dorky Dad, I got you a gift. I got you some new headphones. They're already broken, so you don't have to worry about throwing yours across the room and just breaking another pair of yours. You can use these instead during the tournament. Now, Valley Flying, just stay in your lane, man. Just go to the gym, take the day off, and smash it over there, because there's no way you're going to end up smashing this Crucible tournament. And Mobile Gamer, please enjoy chat walking you off a cliff. The last time you beat me, that was a fluke. There is no way you're going to beat me again at this tournament, because I alone am the cream of the crop. I am going to rise to the challenge and win this whole thing. How's it going, everybody? Desir here. We have the round 1 matchup for the 5C tournament, and we drew Mobile Gamer for the first matchup. Other notable matchups, we have Dorky Dad versus Updog, Bendable Straws versus Duelim, and T-Dub versus Valley Flying. Now, we all have the same roster on here. They're all the 7-7s, and Mobile kind of went half turtle mode on here. Stage 1, he did a Superior 6. He ended up taking out Doc Ox. They're going to have less health. They're not going to have to worry about the turn meter being pushed. They did add Ares in here. That's basically to counter if I bring any strikers in, so I won't have the safeguard. Pretty interesting play right there. Stage 2, Annihilators. We have a Null on defense and Super Scroll. Stage 3, we have Wanda's Revenge. Stage 4, they ended up going with the Illuminati team with Black Knights. Black Knight's going to be on the defense. Pretty interesting there. Starjammers in Stage 5 on defense. And Stage 6, they went Orchis with Mysterio. Now, the interesting thing about this room is they ended up putting in Scientist Supreme. Scientist Supreme is going to ult turn 1, and they're not going to get that 50% speed bar increase on there. And when they do end up taking their turn and using the ultimate, that's going to end up putting speed up on their own characters, slowing them down, and giving us slow, which makes us go faster. So I don't like Scientist Supreme in here. I actually took my Scientist Supreme out, and as far as ISOs, they ended up not having the correct ISOs in here as well, to where Nimrod has the healer. I think this might have been a misplay as far as when they set the defense. They didn't end up hitting the lock ISO button. That's my guess for what ended up happening. But we're going to end up starting off in Stage 5. We're just going to try to do the mirror matchup in here. Now, the Starjammers do have the changes on here, so let's go ahead and see how this goes. All right, we're going into the Stage 5 matchup. This is going to just be a mirror match of our Starjammers versus their Starjammers. Now, Rocket turns the crit off, so that way we can't actually get crits on them. Because of that, we're making everybody a striker, except for Groot being a healer in here. The striker still gives us extra damage increase, so I'm actually fine with this change on here. The goal is we're going to end up using Havoc Special into the enemy Howard the Duck. That way he isn't going to end up ability blocking us. Then from there we can get some control on Lilandra and basically try to pull away the victory using that. So let's go ahead and do this. Alright, so our Havoc is going first. We're going to end up targeting the enemy Howard the Duck. The special here ends up doing the stun 2 turns, trauma 1 turn. Let's go ahead and do that. There's a trauma stun. Now we have Howard. We're going to end up using the ultimate here. This ends up doing ability block, disrupt for 2 turns, along with trauma to all enemies. Yeah. The reason for that is she ends up doing the ultimate to do the positive effect deteriorate. All right, let's go ahead and go into... They all got ability block. He's got a stun. Let's try to take out this Havoc. And let's go ahead and get rid of those defense ups. See, this is the issue with the team. Lilandra going 4th on there. She should end up going 2nd. So we could have not hit into those defense ups. Let's go ahead and use the ultimate. All right, there goes Havoc. There goes Rocket. And these counterattacks are doing amazing work. All right, let's go ahead and ult. This is going to end up taking out Gladiator. Goodbye. Let's go into Howard. Oh, that hits everybody. Sweet. All right, let's go ahead. Rocket group power. Let's go. All right, we are moving over to stage 2. This one here is the Annihilators. We have Null and we have Super Scroll in here. We're going to end up going in with Phoenix Force, Black Knight, Kahori, and Guardian. Guardian's going to give offense up to us. Now, this is a very interesting, very dangerous room. Offense and defense. Enemies are going to end up, or all characters are going to have that 50% max barrier. So that's going to be an 80% barrier that we're going to be going into. None of them are fortifiers, so we're lucky about that. Actually, it's a 30%. Yeah, 50% max barrier. So yeah, sorry about that. So it's going to be 80% max, which Black Knight's going to end up having. On spawn, barrier suffer 100%, so he's going to have a full barrier on spawn. Now this right here, gain 100% extra damage. This is going to be devastating with these new stats with like Kahori, with the Phoenix Force. That Null, for instance, is going to be hitting very, very hard. And when Thanos Endgame ends up popping off, that's going to basically wipe us out, and we're going to have to hopefully lean into Dark Phoenix when that happens. On ally death, barrier self for 100%, that character's max health as well. So when I start killing them, they're going to be getting barrier. We ended up having this in the last Ultimate 32. I am a little worried about this. What the plan is, Corey's going to do a basic into Gladiator. The passive shot's going to go into Null. Then we're going to switch over to Null and hopefully kill him. The Super Scroll's going to be punching into the Black Knight right here. And yeah, I'm going to end up keeping the position the same. So this is going to end up being a turn meter rewind into Phoenix. Or do I want to end up having the Guardian get killed off? Let's get the Guardian killed off so we actually get barrier when he ends up getting killed off. I think that's going to be interesting. So yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can get the one shot on this one. I'm actually worried about this one. All right, so passive shot goes into Null. That's perfect. That... Oh my god. Oh my god. Half health gone. All right, let's basic here. And let's go into Null. And let's go ahead and special. Kill him. Kill him. There he goes. That's right. There goes Super Scroll. Let's go. All right, ult here. Kill him.
I'm gonna make some weird shit.
Why is Kahori going burr? I don't know what's going on, but I like it. That's gonna end up pushing him. Let's go into Gore. Ability block on him. Let's ult into Gore. Let's special. Let's ult. Let's ult. All right, this is gonna hurt. Hey, offense down. That was easy. Easy. Cakewalk. All right, we're moving over to stage 1, and we're gonna end up using our Immortal X-Men going into the Superior 6 Ares team. We're not gonna have Safeguard because of the Ares. That's honestly fine. I don't really care about that. We're not going in with any strikers. We're gonna end up using Storm Special into Green Goblin Classic, try to get the stun on him, and then from there, we have a lot of AoE attacks. Bring everybody together. Green Goblin Classic should fall over fairly easy. We don't have to worry about the taunt going on Lizard until Jean Grey takes her turn. That's fine as well. I think this should be a pretty straightforward matchup, so let's go ahead and see how this goes. All right, so Storm goes first. Let's go ahead and special into... There's the one death proof gone. We can try and get the striker shot into him. Let's do that so we don't have to worry about him at all during this matchup. All right, there goes Slayer. There goes that. Let's try to shift gears over to Ares. Bring everybody together. And let's go ahead and rewind. There goes Green Goblin. There goes you. And just because I want to 13 charges, let's go ahead and do slow-mo. And we go kapow. Ooh, 22 million. All right, for stage 4, I was really torn if I wanted to do a sack on this one and then go in with the team that you're seeing here or a version of it. Basically, this room roll is very, very interesting. So this hurts the offense side only, lower my focus by 5,000% and damage by 50% for any non-Mephisto character. So these other 4 characters, before they end up taking a turn. So the Illuminati team goes so fast where Black Panther Sherry has that speed up. She's going to go very quickly. So this actually isn't a good placement in here because of how fast the Illuminati goes. Once she goes, then all bets are off where I don't have to worry about the negative focus and the negative damage on here. The way this team is going to end up working is Mephisto's going to do the empowered basic into Black Knight, take that max health off of him. Old Man Logan's going to be able to special into him. I'll have Weaver. Once I do the ultimate get charges up, that's going to protect me from the pings from Odin on the battlefield effect. So hopefully I can try to burn through this team. If it starts going sideways, I may end up backing out, do a burn, then going with the follow-up. So I don't have to worry about the retaliates on here. But let's see what happens on this one. All right, so let's go ahead and empower basic into Black Knight. There's 50%. All right, so charges for Old Man Logan. So they actually resist the charges. All right, let's go ahead and basic here. This does 300% damage, bleeds, defense down, reduce max health, rebound. This one here, trauma disrupt, reduces max health. This calls in the assist, gets taunt out. Yeah, let's go ahead and basic. All right, so there's the special from Odin. We need Weaver to go so we get those charges up. All right, let's go ahead and special. We have those negative effects out there. All right, let's get the charges up. All right, so this is going to give us a lot of protection here now. All right. That's unavoidable. Oh, nope, that is not unavoidable. That's good. All right, let's go ahead and ult here. Ult here. That's going to kill the Black Knight. All right. Get some evades up here. We need to get rid of that Odin. All right, so charges are out. This is going to end up hurting us a lot now. All right, there goes our Old Man Logan. Yeah, so we didn't get the one shot. We need to get some kills still, though. We had a striker hit. That's not going to kill Odin. He's going to heal that back up with the battlefield effect. This does more damage. Can we at least kill Britain? Nope. Not great. All right, so he doesn't have his abilities. She's fine. I'm going to walk into a special here. Flip. Safeguard. I think I'll keep it. I'll go in with Astral. All right, we're going for the cleanup in here. We're going to end up trying to use our Astral team. I'm not quite sure how this is going to end up playing out. Odin, he doesn't have a special. He doesn't have his ultimate ready. Hank Pym, he does have a special. That's going to get them the safeguard. Let's see what happens here. All right, so Black Panther Shuri, basic.
I'm gonna make some weird shit.
That's going to heal up Britain. And he's healed all the way back up. That's not good. I should have sacked it. Yep, we lost. We're not getting the full clear now because of this. All right, we're going to see what Night Stalker's Shadow King ends up doing in here. We do a lot of ultimates off the bat. That's going to get some Shadow King pings out. I'm not confident about this, but might as well see what happens. All right, so there's that. That's fine. Offense down. That's going to end up healing up Captain Britain now. Yeah, I got way too great. I should have sacked it like I knew I should have. That pisses me off. All right, let's ult here. Shadow King ping. We can't get the exposed on Odin. That's not good. That's going to kill Britain. This is going to flip. Which one does more damage? 360 rebound. This is going to call the assist in, right? 5 charges, though. No, it won't. He's got blind. Let's rebound here. Special here. Die, please. Die. No. Die. Fuck yeah. Woo! Oh my god. All right, after that hard attack in stage 4, we're now moving over to stage 6. This one here, we're going to end up using the rest of the Astral team, and we're putting Kestra with them. Kestra's going to stop the summons from coming in with Mysterio and the Sentinel, stopping the speed that Nimrod gets. This should end up shutting down the 50% turn meter that Scientist Supreme ends up getting. She is going to still end up ulting turn 1, though. Given us slow, it's just going to be a little bit delayed. I am worried about Lady Deathstrike as far as the damage output that she can end up doing. But we're just going to roll the dice, see what ends up happening as far as the special that she ends up pulling off on us. But let's see what happens here. All right, so Lady Deathstrike, she's going to end up... So there stops the speed. Sweet. We can end up doing a special right off the bat into Lady Deathstrike. This clears barrier, primary, flip, positive effect, negative effect, and ability block for the primary. Yep, we're ability blocking you, lady. Because I do not want that turn meter rewind from her. Let's go ahead and ult into Nimrod. Take those buffs off. Get a defense down on him. No defense down. Let's go ahead and special. Get some pings from Kestrel. Yes, yes. That's going to hurt. All right, there goes Nimrod from the counterattacks because of the Ancient One. Now we got slow. This is why you don't want Scientist Supreme in here. That slow is giving them minus 50% speed and us plus 50% speed. This is going to wreck them now. Ult from Moondragon. Let's go ahead and special, because I don't want to get rid of those defense or the slows. All right, there goes Lady Deathstrike. And Sentinel Bot's trying to do some work on me. This is sucking some efficiency away, I think. All right, let's go ahead and ult into Scientist Supreme. There she goes. Bots are going down. Let's go ahead and go for you, because the other one has more turn meter with these bleeds. And there you go. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. All right, stage 3. This is toxic. This one here, every time one of my characters takes a turn, they get minus 15% max health, and that is going to do damage to them. This is the Retaliate run. We're just going to go in here with our Cabal King Titania, try to kill them as fast as possible. We need to get some control on that Scarlet Witch. That way we're not taking too many pings. Let's see what happens. All right, so let's go ahead and ult into Scarlet Witch. There's the crit. You can see that 15% damage. Let's go ahead and special, get slow. And let's go ahead and special into Scarlet Witch. She's like the only target that I'm really worried about. Those pings when she does ultimate is just going to wreck you. Let's ult for turn meter rewind. Get the assist to kill her, hopefully. Ooh. Rip. All right, there they go. Let's try and special into... She's still going to end up ulting me, but that's the summon one. Let's get rid of Invisible Woman, because she does pings. Defense down. All right, special into Scarlet Witch. And permakill. All right, there's that. Let's go ahead and see if mobile's done attacking, see if we got the victory on this one. Ooh, we won by 1 extra attack. Holy shnikes. All right, let's go ahead and see what happened. Stage 1, Illuminati, he did Mephisto, APOC, Old Man Logan, Echo, Kahori, took out the Captain Britain, took out Black Bolt. I'm curious if Black Bolt did anything in here. I want to watch that replay. New words for the cleanup. Stage 2, he tried Immortal into my Annihilators, Null, Void Knight. They lost. Very interesting cleanup. Stage 3, Newers into my Scarlet Witch Revenge, 8359. Mine was a 8365. Mine was more efficient. I'm curious if the Agatha did something in there. Stage 4, Liberty Super Scroll got me the victory, beat the Cabal Ultimus team. Then Liberty cleanup. He only took out Super Scroll there. Stage 5, used his Phoenix Force in there. I'll take it. Stage 6, Orchis with Dorm for the revives. 8358, that sucked some efficiency up. Mine is more efficient. Sweet. I like these room rolls. These are very, very interesting and impactful. But we are 1-0. Let's go ahead and see who the next opponent is.